Once there was a man named Steven, a talented software engineer with a bright future. Steven had always been driven, putting long hours into his job and caring deeply about his work. However, he often brushed off small decisions, convincing himself they didn't really matter in the bigger picture. Steven's story of unintended consequences began with his work habits. He'd frequently skip meals or rely on fast food, telling himself he didn't have time to cook. It's just one meal, he'd think, choosing convenience over health again and again. A few years later, this just one meal mentality led to weight gain, fatigue, and elevated cholesterol levels that caught up with him faster than he expected. But it wasn't only his health he neglected. Steven often ignored minor annoyances in his personal relationships, letting his frustrations fester rather than communicating. He assumed his wife, Laura, would understand how busy he was. If he missed a family gathering, he'd reason that there would be plenty of others. He also stopped checking in with friends, telling himself they'd understand his workload. The result slowly unfolded. Steven's once close marriage grew tense. His wife felt unappreciated, and his friendships withered. He'd always told himself he could pick up where he left off with his relationships, yet when he finally looked around, he realized how alone he felt. At work, Steven's habit of putting off little administrative tasks became a more serious issue. He'd think, "I'll update those reports later," or "I'll double-check that code tomorrow." His coworkers had started to notice his missed details, which added stress to his job. Over time, he was given fewer responsibilities and, eventually, was passed over for a promotion. One day, after a health scare that landed him in the hospital, Steven had a moment of clarity. He saw the ripple effect of all the small things he'd brushed off. He understood that each choice he dismissed as minor had built on the last until they were an avalanche. He realized he'd let his career, health, and relationships deteriorate, and all of it was avoidable. Determined to turn things around, Steven made it his goal to rebuild his life, starting with small, mindful steps. He learned to value small habits, eating nutritious meals, checking in with his wife, prioritizing details at work. Over time, his relationships improved, he earned back his colleagues' respect, and he regained his health and energy. Lessons from Steven's story. Small habits have big consequences. Minor actions add up over time. Whether positive or negative, our habits shape our future. Don't ignore health. Putting off exercise or good nutrition may seem harmless at first, but these habits can severely impact physical well-being. Maintain relationships. Regular check-ins and small gestures can nurture relationships. Neglecting them, even unintentionally, can erode them. Take ownership of details. Staying on top of small tasks helps build trust and reliability, especially in work. Ignoring them can slowly damage reputation and opportunities. Act before it's too late. Reflection is key. It's often easier to address small issues early on than to try to fix big problems that build over time. Steven's story is a reminder that even the smallest choices matter and that, ultimately, they're what shape our lives.